Can you see my screen now?
Coming.
Okay. Actually, there's a graph that I wanted to show you. Just a moment. Yeah, this is the graph. Yeah, it's coming now. So if you can see this graph, if you see that on the x-axis, we are talking about the learning time. That, for example, it's a 40-minute session or a 50-minute session. So starting time and ending time. And on the y-axis, we are plotting how much amount of information we can recall. It is just like a general graph for anyone, X, Y, Z, well, irrespective of their age. Yeah. On the y-axis, how much information we retain after a session is over. Let's say 40-minute or 50-minute session, and the x-axis, it is the timing. The starting time is here, learning starts, it's written, and learning ends. So this is the time axis. So initially, that is the moment something starts, so automatically brain will pick up without we having to do too much of effort. So primacy. The next one is recency. At the end, again, it will pick up, brain will pick up, and it will collect information, whatever is being said by the teacher, or maybe the person who is giving the speech, or maybe even I'm watching a TEDx video, whatever it is. At the end, I will pick up. But in between, if you see, the graph is dipping because the learning automatically decays. Brain tends to forget whatever is said in the middle. And that's very common. So primacy and recency, two effects are there. In between, it is dropping. But how to stop the dropping of information? How to do something where even though brain is not, unless we make the brain active, brain will forget. So that is where our association principle comes. In between, 3 times, if you associate and repeat the core message. Now, every time we speak, whether for 10 minutes or 50 minutes, we have a core message to give. So some core message through, so for example, if it is a speech, what I do is, of course, you will have a different way. Another person will have a different way. What I do is, if it is a core message is about, let's say it's about women having to, women not forfeiting their right to choice. Every time not giving away the right to choice, because if they give up their right to choice, the family and the people around them start choosing for them. So this is one of the message that I wanted to give to young girls here in one college. So when I wanted to tell them that, I use the word choice and women strategically 3 times. Once just after the first 10 minutes. Then again, somewhere in the middle, not exactly middle, but somewhere not in the middle, with a story I told them. In the beginning, I told them with a very strong quote or something. Then in the middle, I told them with a personal experience that when I stopped deciding for myself at one age, people around me started to take all sort of decisions for my life. And then again, in the end, I give a call to action with a thought experiment. So what they, even if they forget my entire speech, or maybe after 10 years also, they will remember the core message, that women and choice. So something like that. So repetition. And then automatically starting, that is primacy, recency, and now association. So I have, if you see here, it is written A1, A2, A3, and repetition, 3 times association and repetition. So this is the third principle, if you remember. Next is something different. It could be a comedy if you're a very serious person, and suddenly if you crack a joke, or you're just, so the main idea is to break the monotony in a speech or in a content, or even if we are writing a piece of article or something. So breaking the monotony. So that is why the shape is also like this. If you see VR or imagination, something different with your imagination, you create in the middle. Then next, of course, all throughout, if it is a speech, or if it is, even if you're writing a book, for example, of something you're creating, you have to make sure that the interest factor is taken care of all along. Anywhere interest is lost, it is gone. Nothing else will work. So interest. And yes, understanding and misunderstanding. Mnemonics, sorry, this is mnemonics. That is some codes you create, and yes, some understanding and misunderstanding. So if you see some understanding and misunderstanding, it is written there with a green cross. So this graph.
Yeah. What are the arrows which are going from the bottom? Is that to just keep the interest up?
Yeah, always.
The black ones?
Yeah, the black ones. So that is why at all point of time, what we say is that, yeah, content is important. For example, we are speaking something and I go and speak that, the veg food is very important, and I'm addressing a couple of Jain people. They will
Huh.
have least interest because they know all about it. And I'm going to tell them, yes, it is very important. They will not be interested. So similarly, when I was talking with this young girls here in the college, I have to speak something keeping in mind the age group. They are all 18 to 25. I cannot speak to them something.
Oh, so that is basically the interest.
Yes, so all
You
through
have to,
keep the
right.
interest alive. Yeah, keeping the interest alive. And this is not just in speech, but it could be even in a classroom or in
Absolutely,
a written piece
absolutely.
of article or anything, everywhere.
Loved it. Absolutely. This is a wonderful learning for me again.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so this entire graph, you can actually seal it kind of thing, take it, and if not, what happens is maybe sometimes all of them I cannot use it at one go, but I can always use 4 or 5 of them, and even then it works wonders. So this,
Absolutely.
yeah, this is one thing. And the next thing is, if you see in a mind map, how will you create all of this? So all of this may not be possible in a mind map, but if I want to remember something very intensely from a particular book and I'm making a mind map of that book, what I would do is I create that branch in a little bit funny way. Or for example, I have seen your mind map where you have used different colors in the same branch. So for me, I do that only when I want to create a one rest of effect. Generally, I will keep the entire branch and the child branch, sub branch all in same color. But if there is a specific, very hot topic or important topic, yes, I will create different colors. I will put some more codes and all. Or sometimes, as you said, we can just put something around it, and then brain will understand it is important. And association and repetition, you can create links. For example, in your first map, you have radiant thinking twice. So in your map, you are automatically telling your brain that in that map, somehow you are putting your emphasis on radiant thinking. So you didn't do it yourself, but your brain suggested that the radiant thinking is the key. And then the moment you created a link, now again, it will be, it will go to your long-term memory without you realizing it. Even after many years, if you think about your first session, radiant thinking is something that will remain with you. So that way you can create. And of course, primacy and recency in a mind map, immediately it may not be applicable, but it will be always applicable in your speech and content and everywhere. And most of this subconsciously we are using. Subconsciously we are using. It's not that we are not using, but this is more like a step-by-step process that has been
absolutely brilliant. I loved it.
So yeah, this is the thing.
And this is a graph that was done by Tony Buzan.
Yes. This is the graph that of course the slide and all is prepared. I have prepared the slide in a step-by-step order to just show you these things. But yeah, the graph entirely is there in our course where we learn directly from Tony Buzan Academy. And I think on this graph is there only in his biography. And in other books, because I have almost all his books, nowhere this graph is found. Generally, these are like very core materials that is there only for the practitioners. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And just to help you remember, there is also this mind map. In case, for example, primacy. So you just remember one word, like first, child, brain's natural way of thinking. And why a child has good memory, because in his or her life, a lot of things are happening for the first time. Like he's going to the school for the first time, or she is learning to ride a bicycle for the first time. So child memory is good only because of that, because of the primacy effect. And this is a brain's natural way of thinking. Then recency. The keywords are latest and last. You just remember these 2 keywords, you can explain the principle of recency. Then repetition. It is associations. And I think there should be one more branch where I should write 3. Yes. And why almost all leaders, speakers, and advertisements, they use this principle of repetition and association. VR effect is standing out. And this history is, I spoke about the history in the sense that it's based, it is, the name is von Ristoff, based upon the name of the German scientist who discovered this. And she was a psychologist who did this experiment for several years of finding out that how brain remembers anything that stands out from the crowd.
Correct.
And then understanding and misunderstanding. that is association of with something that is already known. You cannot tell them to misunderstand something that they don't know. Something a small part of information is there inside the brain of the other person, and you're creating misunderstanding purposefully, creating a misunderstanding. And if you can do this, this is very creative and brilliant way. All the advertisements again, you make use of this. They will not say we are number one, but they will portray that they are number one, and brain picks up that. And then of course colors, codes, that is the mnemonics, and interest. Unless we increase the interest, we cannot, any of this will not work. So we have to increase the interest, and once the interest is increased, of course there will be focus, attention, and recall power will be more. So again, the same graph converted into a mind map. So the only reason we went very slow with this is because
I loved it. Excellent.
Because in the practitioner certificate or the exam of the practitioner certificate, there is this rule rather where you would have to present something, any piece of content or something where all the 7 principles are applied. So you can take your time and start preparing, because this is one main thing that we have to keep it as a record, that the 7 principles of Tony Buzan you are now able to apply. It could be even a speech or anything, or maybe a mind map also is fine, but all the 7 principles applied. And yeah, and this is
so something. It doesn't have, you mean is it like if I prepared a speech?
Up to you. It is completely up to you whether you want to prepare a speech, or you want to write a piece of content, or you just want to make a mind map, and that mind map you want to explain and indirectly show that you have used all the 7 principles in the mind map. It's completely up to you. You have, a good amount of time ahead to think.
So, for example, if I wanted to take my own speech, the mindset of the Wonder Woman, which is actually my TEDx, whether I should analyze it and look at it, whether all these things were...
yeah, it can be. Yeah, you can analyze and you can actually show. And once you do that, you can make it into a mind map and show that, okay, these are the places. And suppose if it is not there also, where it could be done.
Exactly. Where it could have acted. Yeah.
And if that becomes like your own, 7 principles of mind map by Tony Buzan is fine. But now you have your own blueprint, that how you have it. So now that can be taught to others as an example.
Exactly.
So that is the main idea, that once the course is over, you can always tell people in different scenario, in different whether, as Tony Buzan say, that this can drive both personal and professional success. So you can show them that, okay, you can use it like this in your life. So that is the idea.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, okay, I'll just stop share this. Okay, so maybe what is the time? Yeah, we'll just take 2 minutes.
Sure.
To sink in. Okay, so the steps to mind map. Right now, what I'll show you is through a PPT, but today is Saturday. Maybe tomorrow evening, or at least on Monday, you will receive a video of MindMeister, where the same things will be shown in MindMeister also to you. The only idea is that you can actually relate. Now, once I'm showing it in PPT, and then I'll also show it in a MindMeister. So you can create similar things for yourself also. So just to save time here, and that is already prepared, I'll just need to share it with you. Okay. So yeah, so the 7 principles, I would want that, you almost imprint it into your...
I loved it. I mean, it's going to be... we're going off topic, but people were like, why do you need to do mind mapping? You know everything. I'm just saying that for me, it was a decision I had taken, that I'm going to learn from you, right? Like that's my brain had told me. And like every time, what you say, something that is new knowledge, adding on, and it's happening. So I'm enjoying this whole process, and I'm glad that, and I didn't listen to people. What do you say? No, the brain knows it all. They said, why do you need? Why do you need it?
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing when you're saying that the self-limiting belief that if I tell myself I already know it, then I won't need to learn more.
Yeah. And
So
as we
brilliant.
proceed, yeah, we will learn more and more about like till now we are just not going deep into mind mapping because we are just building the foundation strong. The 7 principle was the foundation.
No,
So
that's brilliant.
yeah, and this
Brilliant.
steps to mind map today, I'll again show you the basic main steps, but then in the next class we will see that sometimes people say that okay, there are too many things, how to come up with one idea and put that one keyword. So that we will explore more next time. But yeah, right now I would want you to go through the steps and again show you that how keywords can make a change. There is a slide. So we already know this, that we should or we must have an image at the center, unless it's like we are very busy and we know that okay, now we already know mind mapping, and even if there is no image, my brain will remember. If that kind of confidence is there, it's okay. But otherwise, generally it is preferred that we have a central image, whether it is hand drawn or digital. And very quickly I'm showing you this. We know that there should be lines, and lines, the main line should be thicker and the outer one should be thinner and thinner. And if you are hand drawing it, or even in your digital mind map also, we can follow a hierarchy, that the first word, if the size is this little bigger, the next one is smaller and then smaller. So we can follow that. Otherwise, even if you don't follow, in hand drawn we generally follow it. In digital it is okay. The lines are organic. In digital we cannot control that. Whatever lines they give us, we have to follow that. But in hand drawn we try to make it very organic, and we want the lines to radiate outwards, just like this, if you see. And again here, length of the line should be equal to the word. And more or less, you know, we don't have to think much about any of these rules, because automatically when we do it, it is coming. So in your case, you're already doing it with the digital mind mapping, so not an issue here. And yes, this is something in case if you're doing it hand drawn, or maybe you are teaching someone who is not very used to using digital mind mapping or computers and all, and you still want them to use mind mapping, then you need to tell them that yes, this line should be connected. I cannot just, some people have a habit of not connecting. Suppose they will draw a square, but they will leave some open space. And this is again a very typical behavior. I don't know, you might have come across such people who will not complete things. Like even if you give them tea, they will just leave a little bit. If they are drawing a circle, they will not connect the entire circle. So, brain study says that these people, it's nothing wrong or right about them, but they have this tendency of not completing. They will start something, but they will not complete. So that will be reflecting upon their drawings and their way of living also. So similarly here in mind maps also, Tony Buzan says that the moment we leave this branch, suppose I draw but I don't connect here. If you see here is a connection point, just and because of very fast drawing, and I'm leaving an open point there. So that will tell my brain subconsciously कि ये important नहीं है. So that should not happen, and hence all the lines should be connected. Now words, we know that it should be only one keyword, and the keyword should be big at the center and small at the out. I mean, as we go out and out, it should be smaller. Sentences imprison the brain. So this figure itself is sufficient to remember that why we need keywords. Because yeah, our brain will feel imprisoned when we use long sentences in a mind map. So this is an example of why we should use a keyword. If you can see this, on the left side of the screen, if you see, there's this, suppose I want to write this entire word, unsuccessful product launch, and I just don't know how to break this. And I say, no, yahi important hai, let's use this unsuccessful product launch. But if you see this unsuccessful product launch, as per the rules of mind mapping, it is a wrong thing. We should use only one word. So how to break it, and how breaking it will give me any benefit? Let's see. So just see this now. Now, there are different ways you could do it. You can actually explore different ways. This is just one way that I'm showing you. So product, and then I say launch, successful, un. This is just one way of breaking. Let's see how it goes. If you see the bottom one, so the moment I wrote product, I know that launching is just one thing. But even before you launch a product, there is so much. I mean, you could draw 100 more branches about the product only. You have to do market study and so many other things. So the moment I wrote unsuccessful product launch, it is almost you are putting a stamp and saying that the entire product is a waste. If I just think in terms of, the product, that suppose imagining that I had a product, I launched it in the market and it did not go well. So if I write this entire thing in one branch, I'm sealing it, khatam, everything is over. But now if you see the third mind map or just the third branch, the last one, I'm saying that product and then market target. So I'm just trying to think that did I actually pick up the target market or not? Maybe the product is good, but the market that I have targeted for was not good. So just allowing my brain to brainstorm. Then I go to next branch and I see, okay, what were the certain things about launch? Then I think about the timing. Then I think about the location. I also think about the various things. And just if you see that, I see that, okay, location was good, timing was good. And what were the things that were successful? Guests were very happy. VIPs were happy. And I also saw that the food and everything went well. The unsuccessful part was very little. That is the media and maybe the news release did not go well, or maybe I could not control the media partners. So something, maybe only a small part of the product was unsuccessful, but this I could tell my brain only when I took a pause and I broke it down into different ways. So this is just one way of looking at how keywords can be so beneficial and how keywords can actually generate more ideas by just breaking down the sentence. If you see unsuccessful product launch, now you could do it in 100 other ways. Many people, for example, I have seen some of my students, what they do is instead of product launch unsuccessful, they will just put product and then unsuccessful or success, or they will not put the word success and unsuccess. They will put product and then they will make branches, successful, unsuccessful, and then under successful, what went good, under unsuccessful, what did not go good. And then again from there they will explore whatever went wrong, how could they actually reverse that. And they would just imagine a hypothetical situation, had this not happened, if this would have happened. So all that kind of brainstorming can be done only once when we break down into keywords instead of the. So this is just an example of showing how keywords can be so effective. And yes, so this was about keywords. Then of course we know that we can use colors throughout. So this is more like, and this link that you see here, this is just what we created this morning. If you remember, one green branch. Yeah. So this is talking about that. Then this images, we have to use images, colors, and symbols all throughout. So just, throughout. If you see, so this is just a mind map talking about different aspects of mind map, how to mind map. You can make it fun if you want to create a one Rostov effect. So it's like some funny symbols you can create, or some specific, if you have some specific codes for your, brand or something like that, you can use. And it is always advisable, even if you are using hand-drawn mind maps, in case you are using, then use minimum of 3 colors, minimum. Maximum, of course, it will be always nice if you are using 4 or 5 colors, but even if you don't have any choice, and so you can always use like blue, black, and red at least. At least this 3 color pens, everyone, generally people would carry this 3 colors. And the last one is structure. So this is how we read. This is again very important. For example, if you have observed, or even in your own mind maps, you always read from, you are reading anti-clockwise, clockwise. Clockwise, but how do you read your branch? For example, let's say this structure branch, how would you read? Would you start reading from BOI, this basic, or would you start reading from arrows?
I would from the top, right?
No, that's what I'm trying to understand. How would you?
For example, I like our lines, and I would go top to down. Like, so if I had to go, I would look at radiant, then hierarchy, thinking, then clear, order, and BO. Then after that.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that is how most of the people also do that. They go clockwise as a whole. But when it comes to a specific branch, they go anti-clockwise. Did you just notice what you did was you went clockwise from lines to words to colors, but the moment you reached structure, or maybe even in any of the sub branches, you want to read the structure from arrows and then come to BOI.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, as long as you understand that and the person to whom you're communicating, they understand this, it is okay. But if you want, to follow a specific order, it is good if you can go completely clockwise, specifically if your brand. Now, in your mind map, it is not a problem because the things are not ordered. In the sense, for example, you are saying that in your mind map, for example, it was radiant thinking. So whether you are saying that, okay, the top branch you're speaking about it first, or the bottom branch, sub branch you're talking about it first, doesn't matter. Both are equally important. But imagine there is something that you just like here, 1, 2, 3, if you see here the numbers, if there is something that you want people to remember in that order only, then you have to go, you have to remember this order. Yeah,
So
clockwise, fully clockwise.
So this is the one, right? We're going clockwise, right?
Yeah, fully clockwise.
Plan.
Yeah,
Fully
you
clockwise.
already you are doing it clockwise only, but within the branch you were coming from top to bottom. So it has
Okay.
to be complete clockwise.
Okay, so so it's like this. Okay, got it. Okay.
But that is again, we need not be very strict with it unless there is no, I mean, within, generally what happens within the branch, there is no specific order. We can read it bottom, top, top, bottom, doesn't matter because all the points are important. Only when you have something specific, for example, you are saying, okay, this is a 5-step process. And then you want them, then you can always tell them, since we are reading it this way, let's read it. But if you have an audience who, generally, I would tell you that 99% of your audience, they will read the way you have read. And then if you do it the correct way, they will think you are doing ulta. So that you have to tackle. If you see that, okay, you have a audience who are like 50, 60-year-old audience, and they have already this mindset, there is no need. You can just put the numbers and numbers will tell them which way to read. Whether you are writing, if you're writing just like in the screen, if you see 1, 2, 3, instead of that, you can make it from top also 1, 2, 3.
Correct.
So the moment you put the number, they know how to read it. So that thing you have to take care. Yeah. So this is like a complete mind map showing the steps of mind map.
Perfect.
And this is again, I have not made this mind map. I mean, the slides I have made, but the main picture of this mind map was made by my Australian mentor, who is the vice president.
You had said it the other day.
So because this is how he uses his branches. If you see. Okay, this, I think it is repetition. So this is a mind map. I mean, children love this mind map. If you see, this is by Tony Buzan from his handbook.
I made my children do the colors the other day.
Okay.
I wanted to send a picture, but I wasn't able to.
Sure. So if you see here, though it is made for kids, but if you see, so much of information is packed here. If you see the apple branch, I mean, it's summarizing a lot of things. An apple a day keeps a doctor away. Then you just see this serpent and that apple pie again, Eve. So much of information here. Or if you see about this banana, I mean, even if a kid sees this, okay, this is banana is rich in potassium, so I must have it. So even that information is here. Or, orange, it's a citrus fruit. So much, and orange juice. So much of information. So kids, particularly, if they make this kind of mind maps, they will really have, fun, and they will also put in a lot of information that their brain will remember automatically. Next time they see a banana, they know that, okay, it is rich in potassium. So yeah, this is a mind map. And so how much time can you give?
No, I'm good. I'm here till the 1.5 hour you had said, right? To allocate. Yeah.
So today, if you see that, first we have made our foundation very clear using this, I mean, by discussing the 7 principles. And this is the base of the practitioner certificate also, that you will be taking this forward to other people. That is what we want in Buzan Academy, that every time somebody learns, he or she needs to apply and reach out to more people through the 7 principles. And then we saw the very basic steps of mind mapping. the principle, the laws that we need to have curved branches, colors, mnemonics, and all of that. And of course, the order and link. Always try to create more and more links in your mind map so the brain associates, okay, this is important, that is important. So now we have come to this point, and we have discussed this slide in our last session also, that the COCP, or the program that I specifically I have integrated with the practitioner certificate, is the COCP, where I talk about that in mind mapping we have 4 steps, that is clarity. So today and last class it was all about clarity. Then we will talk about organizing. Maybe around 4th or 5th session we will start organizing our content, our books, videos, and all of that, how we can organize. And there is a specific way to do that. And then once we do this organizing and all, there are also steps to brainstorm, how to brainstorm using mind mapping, how to be creative forcefully. Initially we will do forceful creativity. Forceful creativity means we will be conscious that yes, I'm doing this for whatever creative juices already I have inside, I'm just taking them out by doing this exercise. So we will do that, but then later on, more or less, it will become like a byproduct. And when we have all this in place, automatically whatever you're doing, whether you're scheduling your day or whatever you're doing, it will automatically become more and more productive. So today we will not be going to all of that, but I would just want you to, touch upon this clarity. So I always say this, that when we have clarity in life, there is nothing that can stop us from living an exceptional life. And once we experience that, our aim is to help others achieve the same in the process. So the first step, that is clarity, is knowing more about ourselves. So hence this pictures, as we know that our brain always remember this picture. So it's more like the next exercise that we will do is more like embracing the other person in the mirror, or right now whom you can see in the screen, and shaking hands and hugging that person. So it's like ourselves. So gaining clarity, first step is always to understand self. So I'm not sure if you have seen this mind map before somewhere. Or no, okay. Because in one of the sessions I had taken a small part of this. I have taken. So it was with you or with Toastmasters?
No, not with me.
Sessions
Not with me.
Toastmasters. So maybe there I have taken this. Okay. So this is again knowing self, and this is the mind map. I will be sharing the what you call the image of this also separately in the message, WhatsApp message. But what I want is you have to complete this mind map. This is a blank mind map, and I have made only three sub branches, and there are no further sub branches. So all that you can add. So this is something that you can use it for yourself. And once you use it for yourself, you can take it further and use it for your clients as well, and modify it according to your content or your whatever it is that you're looking from your participants. So first thing is, what we do is we see that, again, here I have used specific colors based on my my brand or whatever. You can change the colors and everything. So love, what is that you love? So when I say love, and it's not just some work or something, it could be anything. For example, as a child, I loved music, or I love to read books. I love making more new friends and new connections. So trying to figure out 3 or 4 things specifically in our life, right from childhood to college days to our youth to maybe when we were in a job or something, doing closing our eyes and for 3 to 4 minutes just thinking completely what are the various things which I find joy in doing. And even if I'm not paid for it, if nobody is paying me for it, even if nobody is acknowledging me that, okay, you are good at it, still I'll do. So that is absolutely loving something. It could be a skill, it could be anything, not necessarily a skill, it could be just anything, something you enjoy doing, something you love doing. So love. After that, we come to this next branch, that is, what am I good at? This is again fully self-reflection. And I do it every month once, because I see that it can change over time. Not necessary that it's going to be one fixed thing. So what am I good at? Now again, something I love, maybe I love music, but not necessarily I'm good at music. I'm terrible at music. I just love it as a hobby. But if somebody tells me, okay, Shubhra, perform on the stage, I cannot, I know. So I try to again figure out from my life, from childhood till date, that what are the things that I'm good at. Sometimes what I'm good at and what I love may, intersect. Sometimes it may not intersect, and then that's okay. So I'll find out again 3 to 4 things that I'm absolutely good at, or I'm proficient. I would use the word proficient here. That's something that I know I can do it. And then I go to the blue branch. If you see consult, now this is again very interesting. The consult branch is, I want you to go back and reflect uh, and think about what were the different things for which your relatives, your friends, maybe your children, someone come to you for consultation on what aspects. For example, I have a client who says people comes to him every time, they, even in his office, people come to him to ask him for writing a speech for them, but he didn't know that he was doing a favor to them all the time. Whether they want to write an application, whether they want to write a speech, whether they want to write anything, a small leave application, or even somebody's leaving the job, they want him to write the application. And he said, I just did it even in my school, college, everywhere I was doing it. So he's good at that, but he did not realize it. Something for which, or some people, they say that, okay, a lot of people come to me for relationship advice. Also, a lot of people come to me, my friends used to come to me whenever there was a conflict, they wanted me to solve. So I am actually resolving their conflict. So there are always some quality our friends or our relatives know we are good at, even more than we know. So what are they? So if I think about all those, I will come up with 3 or 4 points. If more, not bad, but at least 3 points. And we will not go to the other 2 branches. Right now, what I want is, once I know what I love, once I know what I'm good at, and what people come to me for consultation, I will just try to seek, are there any common points between this? And generally there are. And if not many, at least one will always come out. Because what I'm good at, people know already about it. And that is somewhat related things only. For somewhat related things only, they came to me for consultation also. Maybe free consultation in school, in colleges. So all of that. And then I see that, can I contribute to the world or to the society at large by seeing these 3 branches? Something I love, something I'm good at, something people also know I'm good at because they come to me for consultation or advice. So out of all of this, is there any common link? You will just try to make a link and see, out of this, can I do something? So already you, for example, in your case, you are doing, you're contributing to the society, you're contributing to the larger. For example, in your speech, you spoke about women in your, the Wonder Woman and all of that, or you speak about leadership, or we know that your brand is about leadership. So something we already know. So can you, niche it down, or even there also, there will be something that's specific.
Actually, I had done this with a coach a couple of years back, but obviously not in the form of mind map. And I think that was the trigger. And I got my clarity. Why have I reached here today is because of this stage where I actually sat down and wrote these questions, not in the form of a mind map that time, but wrote these questions. And every time I'm confused, I go back to that. I in fact keep this book with me.
Okay.
What do I love? What am I good at? So when I had actually written, what do I love? My God, I had written, I love planning events, dressing up, being center of attention. What am I good at? I love teaching, pulling people together, planning events. I can put my vision into action. So from there, the one that it actually brought me to the next question, which was about how can I contribute? The question about contribute. And then it came to that there was a need for good communicators and the need for good English teachers in my state. Now, at that time, I had put it for my state. But this particular thing was for me my biggest achievement, because today where I am is because of that brainstorming that I had done with my coach couple of years back, but differently, obviously. No, this is the other one. Okay, yeah, go on.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I mean, asking questions to ourselves and understanding better. We have all the answers, and I think that is why the picture also at the center, that we have all the answers. We just need to
Absolutely.
hands with ourselves, hug ourselves, and deep dive within all the answers. And now, as you say, that already you have done this exercise in different form, and that is where you have reached. And if you go again deeper and deeper, not just with mind map, maybe you can use this mind map, maybe you can just take out all those papers, and every time you go, and you will see that even the best of best in the world, they revise,
you have to keep changing, because now the things are even like what you said, like we have actually written it down monthly. I mean, even if it's not monthly, maybe quarterly, to think about how else can you, what are you enjoying? Maybe the love doesn't change, but what you're good at is actually increasing, or how you are contributing may be increasing.
Exactly. And we can actually create a difference. I mean, we can create a differentiator for ourselves, because that's where everything matters. If you see that in any interview also today, and people whom we are training also now, I know that you train a lot of people, or especially if you're training young people, you would want them to have a differentiator in their life. So maybe a similar exercise or something. What is that differentiator? Even a small packet of a 10 rupees soap comes with a differentiator. They will write something differently in the ad, and then even if it's just a 10 rupees soap, but they have a differentiator that, okay, we are for this. And I remember someone saying that nowadays toothpaste, they write this is for night. Now we know all
okay.
So the moment
day cream, night creams, before we had only one cream, Ponds.
So now the moment they say night cream, it's a differentiator. Now who knows, only God knows, and the company knows whether we can use it in the day or not. But they have created a misunderstanding in our brain. I would say misunderstanding that I am supposed to use it at night. And now specifically everyone will buy that night cream only for night. They will not use the other cream, even if it might have the same ingredients. So companies have created a differentiator. So we as human beings, or as coaches or brands, we want to create a small unique differentiator for ourselves. And that will come only when we keep on refining and asking ourselves all those questions and all.
Absolutely.
And this last branch, this is something I always do, is what are the current challenges that I'm facing? And it could be any challenge. For example, I want to contribute in this way, and I see that, okay, the main challenge that I'm facing is, it could be even reaching out to more people is a challenge for me now. Exactly. Or maybe a technology challenge, or maybe I just don't have sufficient time to do all the things myself. So I have to learn this art of delegation or something. Maybe I have to build up a team or something. So whatever challenges, when I say, okay, this particular month or this quarter of this year, I'm going to address these two challenges. And maybe next time when I draw this mind map, I know, okay, these two challenges are taken care. And it is said that if I'm having the same set of problem for 1 year, that means I'm not growing. My problems also should change as I grow, because I have already solved my problems, the earlier smaller problems right now. So if I have read somewhere actually recently that the one way of ensuring that we are growing in life is that we don't have the same problems. Even our teams, if I have recruited, suppose 3 people or 4 people, and if they are coming up with the same problem every other month, that means they are also not doing their work. They are also supposed to grow and come up with new problems and solve the old problems. So that is why I always say that challenges branch should be always there. Some other branches may not change, but challenges branch should change at least once in 3 months or 4 months.
Absolutely.
So this is the first thing we do in mind mapping, that is clarity mapping. And as this thing, you can either make it hand-drawn, this particular one, because
I need it, right, for my assessment also, right?
This one. I will. And the other one, that 7 principles, we don't need it immediately. You can take a week's gap maybe, and the 4th session when we come up, you can at least give me a rough idea that what is that you want to do with this, or breakdown of your speech. You can take at least 10 days.
I will see what I want to do. I'm not sure. It could be just maybe a writing piece also.
Or even breaking down the speech is okay. I mean, as you said, whatever you feel comfortable and whatever you can use it further.
Absolutely. And how many minutes does our presentation need to be?
there will be 3 parts. So the first part, this part will be 10 minutes.
Okay. So yeah, okay.
And then the other parts will be based on the other things that we will be learning.
So I mean, if I could, yeah, okay. So okay, I could.
With 10 minutes is maximum. You can, I mean, less is also okay.
No, I mean to say that I'm just thinking whether I want to use a video and then explain it that, okay, if I had a video of, let's say, 1.5 minutes, so I show the 1.5 minute and then I explain that, okay, in this, I try to bring the first thing. This is the last thing. This is the repetition, for example, something. I will see what I don't know what.
So like, we have a database that prove that yes, the practitioner certificate is given, the person knows about the 7 principles fully. There's no doubt about it. So that assurance, nothing else here. So yeah, this is again another map that I have made for, I mean, imagine that you are learning a new skill, or you want somebody else to learn a new skill. And this is a kind of not assessment, it's more like the first step towards learning a new skill. So what we do is we make a mind map, and we don't write 4 W's of a skill at the center. For example, the skill is reading. You want to ensure that your team members, they read every day, or they read 3 times a week. So whatever it is, you want to build a new habit. Or you want them to learn a new skill. It could be even driving, dancing, anything. You want them to learn a new skill. So this is clarity part 2. First, clarity part 1 is knowing yourself. Clarity part 2, step 2 of clarity is whatever new thing that you're learning. In your case, suppose you are learning mind mapping only. So whatever you are learning, you have to break it down into this 4 parts using a mind map. And you write your why first. This is again very common points I've written, but instead of this points, you will just write down your own why. Or to whomever you are teaching, you will tell them to write their whys. Then you tell them that when they should give you a time. For example, they are learning communication from you. Then they must commit that, ma'am, every day at 10 a.m. in the morning for 10 minutes. And yeah, every day. So time, duration, and frequency should be committed. And they should write it down. And it could be, okay, frequencies, they are going to do it only on weekends. Even that is fine. But you want them to fix and write it on a map. Then where are they going to do it? Whether they are going to do it in the office, study room, park, or it could be, I mean, based on the skill. For example, if it is mind mapping, I can do it in office, study room. I can even take a piece of paper and go to a park and make a mind map there.
Zoom.
Yeah. So whatever it is, that where it will change according to the skill. If you want them to make a video, let's say every day you want them to record 2 minutes video. So where will they record it? And maybe they will record it during the office hour lunch break. So
will it be like, for example, in my case, my mind mapping, it's in the office, on Zoom, on MindMeister?
Yeah. On MindMeister.
Is that how I would do it?
Yeah, I mean, perfectly, because you are already defining the space. You are also defining the technology that you're going to use. So you're sort of telling your brain, it's like sealed. This is the way I'm going to do it. And then the next part is what is like more, this is again, suppose the skill that you're learning or the habit that you want to implement in your leader or in your own home or maybe for yourself is a little difficult one, and you want that, okay, there is one kind of commitment is definitely the when, that is time, duration, and frequency, that is you have committed. But maybe you also want to collaborate with someone, have an accountability partner. So what kind of things you will do? What are the things you need to do to ensure that, yes, you are doing it? So those kind of things. For example, I see that for walking in the morning, especially early morning walking, evening is fine, but early morning walking, if I want to install it as a habit, I don't feel like going alone. So I either find a friend, or I'll, ask my spouse or something. I'll manage so that there is someone who will push me, at least in the morning hours. So similarly, for this, what you call, let's say you want your team members to do anything new. So you want them, okay, you collaborate as 2, 2, 3 persons, and then you find an accountability partner amongst yourself and do it. So something of that
My
sort.
case would be what practice when, for example, I'll be practicing it as frequently as possible, immediate implementation of your learnings. I could be teaching it to somebody immediately so that there's application in my case. So I think that's how I would be doing
Yeah,
the,
absolutely. Or
and
even
then, yeah.
yeah, I have there is this book called Newport, where he says that some people, they don't want to collaborate, or suppose we are someone already, we don't have that much time to collaborate with people for skill. We can manage a simple dashboard like this. Maybe I have a calendar and I'll just put cross or tick to ensure that I'm doing it every day. Maybe आज मैंने 10 minute mind map किया कि नहीं, so maybe I'll just take a calendar and I'll just put a tick.
Yeah.
So even that is telling my brain that I'm doing it. So the main idea is telling your brain.
In my case, what I'm doing, Shubhra, is wherever the opportunity comes, and maybe it's right or wrong, but I'm utilizing the mind map.
Okay, yeah, I mean that is fantastic. So that is what you are doing. So what is you're making a mind map at every opportunity possible.
Yeah, I sit for a meeting, I'm making mind maps,
That's
like
sufficient.
for minutes of the meeting. I'm thinking, I'm reading, listening to a video, I'm making mind maps of what I'm learning from there. So for me, I'm immediately implementing the learning. I know we are left with only 7 minutes, but I wanted to ask you one question
Sure.
related to one. I will reshare with you all my mind maps, Shubhra. But there was this, like I want, I mean, okay, let's look at, maybe I'll share my screen.
Okay, just a moment. So I'll just complete this quickly.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, perfect, no issues. One is, this is the mind map that anyways you'll be getting that workflowy link. So all
Yeah, correct. And I have to do this mind map, right?
Yeah, this then
But this is the handwritten one, which I will make for my thing. Correct?
Yeah, but the only reason handwritten is so that it's like telling your brain also, and you are giving some self time.
Yeah.
Then this you need not draw this exactly like this, but I would want
This
you
is
to.
also handwritten, or do you want it in MindMeister?
I think this is MindMeister will do. Why? Because it is not going to change very frequently, and every time you have a new skill, you can always make a new mind map. Yeah,
Take it.
MindMeister is okay. This is again, you already know
Oh,
this.
that's what, yeah.
So this also you can do it and use it for yourself. I use it monthly again, this SWOT analysis also, because I see that my threats and opportunities keeps on changing. Sometimes strength and weakness remains the same, but opportunities
Threats and opportunities keep changing.
changes.
That's true.
Yeah, so I do it on a monthly basis. So I have all this in my MindMeister for myself, and these are very personal. I don't share it with anyone, but it works for me. So
Absolutely.
yeah. And yeah, this is again a slide where I show that now that you are become on the verge of becoming a practitioner in mind mapping. So we will avoid this kind of thing, because a lot of people might call them mind maps, but they are not mind maps. Yeah. So I say I look like, but I am not a mind map.
I like it.
So this is something, and yeah, I think with that I'll stop sharing the screen. And yes, you wanted to share something.
Yeah, so one, I will share with you all the mind maps that I need to send you. But what in my, because actually tomorrow I have a class. So I wanted to this time try and implement my learnings into the like not learnings, but I wanted to see, am I confident enough to start using MindMeister as a tool for my presentation?
Sure.
But in the end, now it's going back where I realize that is going to keep happening, like what you just shared, where there will be some things which have to go in the PowerPoint because they are very much in a graphic form, which can't be really explained in terms of MindMeisters. I mean, in the mind map. Or I might be able to, so I'll show you what I had thought. And where is it? Communication.
I like your t-shirt. This is nice.
The leadership card one, I was ready for the
Some conference you have, you
the
say.
conference, yeah. Okay. So I will just do this thing what you just said. And break it down for you from there. So yeah, I'm thinking that it's still not, I'm probably having to, I will have to keep jumping. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Let's see.
We may not have to jump.
So, I mean, I might just be able to, for example, let me increase it. So I will be talking about this, like I'm talking about persuasive communication. So I had, for now, it's still in clutter. So I don't know because the structure is not set yet, because this was also the madman stage where I was literally just putting things in. But at the same time, I probably want to start off with, there are two types of presentations, and I will talk about at this stage. For example, I don't want both to come, for example.
Okay.
So I just wanted one to come, which is informative, but this is fine. But does it mean that I will have to again break it up, Subra?
Yes, you have to break. Otherwise, if it is under the same main branch, it will not happen.
Come the other way, right? So I wanted to show this and I wanted to show this. So it was coming. Yeah, so this is fine. Then uske baad, ab jaise ye tha, where the purpose of basically I'm saying that a persuasive communication is to be able to take a person from point A to B, right? But now here, I want to put in this symbol, like example, like this. Am I able to
do this? We can put purpose, then A is the first one, B is the second one, and we'll just create a link.
Okay, so you're saying you do it that way. Okay, let's just say like A, I'm just put it A, and B, I'm just doing that. And then we are going to, you're saying that do this. The connection is to do this. I'm going to just do that. And then you're saying put it like this, right?
Yeah, taking the person from A to B.
And then we can also put a add label, for example.
The path or something, something like that. Okay.
I'm just putting that for now. And so it is, okay, something like that. Okay. So what I was, on the other hand, what I had done is I've created certain, for example, the slides. I was thinking that at this point, I could also then just, so I was thinking that one possibility was that I would, like this is the slide, for example. I could just take a screenshot of it.
Yeah, and put it there. Even that is.
And then put it there. And then that way I'm just showing it to them. And then the same thing, like I had, for example, this, you can see it. But when we go back to the MindMeister, like over here, we have the structure. Now in the body part of it, I had written it like this. Example.
Yeah.
That in the body you have.
You will remember this better if you directly, I mean, here directly with MindMeister would do, and wherever you want to show them a picture, that picture you can put it here, and the moment you enter full screen, they will be able to see the picture as a slide only.
है ना? So वही कर लेते हैं. So I can then just put those images and then
everything can be done through this only.
Okay. And then I will also add my videos to substantiate from here only by adding the YouTube link over here.
YouTube link. And also if you want to put some notes also, you can put some notes that you want to expand. You can just try one now. Yeah.
So for example, solution, right? But this is only for me, right? But I'll be able to
open it, they will see.
When they print it, they will be able to see it? What do you mean?
No, suppose you are presenting it, suppose you are presenting it to me, I can see your note.
Oh, you will be, okay, let's see. For example, solutions. Okay, let's say.
Yeah, whatever you write, and when you open it even later, I can always see.
Okay, so just say abhi maine kara. So like when I'm doing this, how is it showing you?
No, you have to click there and now I can see.
Okay, so that's the note.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can, if there are some extra points, you can always tell your audience about that. And when you go to the download option,
This one?
speak with influence there. No, on the left side, near I. No, on top.
हाँ, ये वाला.
No, the cloud option. This one, when you export, when you export, and if you click PDF, so whatever, when you you don't need to download right now, but suppose you use export, you click export. So in your mind map, whatever notes you have added, whatever you
Then all will come. Acha.
everything will come, and it will come like a link only. And it will come point number 1, 2. So it's like a ebook that you are creating.
Okay.
So it will come like an ebook. Ekdam step by step, it will come how you have created.
Perfect. Okay, so that's good. So that was so I will still experiment with it. How confident I am going to be in
No, but I think
using
it will be okay. You are already showing it to me. Just maybe some colors and this thing that will take 1 hour or something. Once you dump all the material, it will just take 1 hour to adjust.
Just put it all together.
That dumping thing takes time.
Absolutely. It's a thought process because my thought is still cluttered. So I'm just thinking on how do I want to deliver it? Yeah. Perfect.
Because if you remember the person who has just got this practitioner certificate, there is another person who has just finished his certification, practitioner certification. And I mean, I have posted also his certificate. So he gave this 6 months of work, whatever they have done. He presented that to ministry, and that person.
Oh, you told me. Yes.
Person had very limited time, and he came with a view, and he even told that I'm just attending this session just because karna hai, matlab he has been told by his boss ki jaake dekh lo, but he was in no mood to release the money for that software. And this person, my client, Mr. Murthy, he was like adamant ki paisa nikal ke hi rahenge. Means he wants to tell ministry that they need this software for their organization, and they gave that person 6 months of work, whatever was done only through one mind map, and he just said I need that mind map only, so that now he knows where
now everything is there.
links are there, everything were there. In 20 minutes presentation, discussed everything. So I think even if that person who was adamant, and he was like 60-year-old person, not coming with
Convinced.
a all to give that money, he was
Absolutely.
like, so
perfect. Thank you so much, Subra. So I will see you now on Tuesday morning, right?
Tuesday morning. And this whatever all those things you'll get in the workflow.
I'll do it.
One mind map in MindMeister, how to mind map. The same thing that I have explained now, it will come in the form of a video just for you to understand. Okay, same thing Subra is explained in slides also. So it's like comparison so that you can use it in your own sessions.
Perfect.
Like comparison. So one
video.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Subra. See you
Have a great day, ma'am. And best wishes for your conference too.
Thank you.